All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. First up on the agenda are citizen communications. The Capital Improvement Advisory Committee welcomes comment on items relevant to the CAIC, not already scheduled on tonight's agenda. In accordance with the Texas Attorney General's opinion, any public comment that is made on an item that is not on the published agenda will only be heard by the committee. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made by the committee. Each person providing public comment will be limited to 3 minutes and will be asked to state his or her name and address for the public record. One more thing I did want to mention for the record that Commissioners Hudson, Hickman, and Migden are absent this evening. Are there any citizens wishing to address the committee this evening? All right. We'll entertain a motion to
approve minutes.
Second.
Yep, so this is our consent agenda items. 3A is really just approving the minutes from last fall.
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Consent agenda is approved. Item 4, discuss and consider. So we'll now be receiving semi-annual reports regarding the progress on the city's capital improvement plan.
Hi, good evening. My name is Abby Morrison. I'm the Public Works Services Director. I'm joined here by Jeff Dunsworth, our Utility City Engineer, and Katie Cam, our Traffic and Transportation City Engineer. We're here tonight to provide a report on the city's active CIP projects. This report will be filed with the City Manager's Office to satisfy the state statute that requires this. As you reconvene as the Planning and Zoning Commission, we will be back to review the upcoming fiscal year 25 through 29 capital improvement plan, including all active and future planned projects. So the slide that you're looking at here just shows a status of the overall capital improvement program of the active projects, which means the project is either in the study phase, design phase, or construction. So within that, we have 58 active projects throughout all of the capital improvement program. Of that, 41 are in design and 17 are within construction. So with all of these projects, we have a lot of coordinated efforts. This is critical that we are constantly in communication with our regional, state, federal partners to get the best value for our residents while also delivering the project as quickly as possible. Some things that we've done for program development and initiatives, we are in the middle of the CIP plan update that you'll hear later tonight. Our mobility master plan is ongoing. Some things in the future that you'll see are a water and wastewater master plan update, as well as a citywide facilities master plan update. So now I will pass it along to Jeff Dunsworth to go over the active utility projects.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, for the record, I'm Jeff Dunsworth, Utility Assistant Director and City Engineer in Utilities. But just want to tell you, thanks for giving us the opportunity to present. I'd like to commend Mrs. Abby and Mrs. Morrison and Mrs. Bro. They've been very, very busy putting together our program. But it's that time of year when they have to put together the information that we present to you tonight. And most off, I want to commend you all for taking an active role in your community. Your sense of community, your spirit of volunteerism is greatly appreciated, and the commitment you make to be a positive impact in your community and to be a positive change, to be the catalyst. It's appreciated and well noted. Thank you all for your volunteering, your time, and your efforts. Just to note, we are a small city with a large city capital improvement program. We have numerous projects, numerous dollars that are involved in making sure that our public infrastructure stays up to par and we're able to provide services to our existing and new residents. But we'd also, just like to mention numerous other things that are underway. My discussion will be on what we refer to as the big three, and that's not the automakers. We have 3 facilities underway. We have a water treatment plant expansion, That's about $160 million. We also have a new wastewater treatment plant in a greenfield. It's being delivered as a CMAR project. It's approximately $250 million. We have a 15-mile water line, you might have heard me mention before, 42-inch large diameter raw water line bringing water from the lower Colorado River to our lovely Lake Pflugerville. It's another $130 to $135 million project. So we have been very busy. What you see on your screen now is the water treatment plant project. This project has been under construction for approximately a year. It's one of the most critical projects to our infrastructure, to our CIP program. Because, no water means no new development, and it's pretty critical that we have new water resources available as our community grows and encourage our community to grow. It's 35, as I mentioned, 35% complete. It's expanding from 17.7 million gallons to 30 million gallons a day. It's it's going to ensure that we meet our future demands up to the year 2040. We also have some funding partners that are involved in helping us, assisting us in this project. But we're looking for a commission that's WIFIA. It's a federal program, EPA program, funds delivered directly from the federal government, and we have TWDB funds. That's a state agency that delivers our clean water and drinking water, state revolving funds. The other project that I briefly mentioned is the secondary Colorado River raw water line. Excuse me, that's a mouthful. It's the $135 million. It brings water from Colorado River through East Austin. It's also a portion through Travis County and Lake Pflugerville. See that this is our timeline. We are looking to go to bid in June of this year. You also notice the elongated ellipse. That's part of the permitting process we've had with the city of Austin. It's been a challenge to us and a little longer than we anticipated, but we are on the tail end and hoping that we will be moving through at a fast pace. The next one is our Wilbarger wastewater treatment project. This is the 6 million gallon per day wastewater treatment plant that's in our far east area of Pflugerville. It's going to help provide development or wastewater for the development in the Cottonwood Basin. It's it's one of the city's drivers into being able to service our vast CCN, or vast service area. Once again, we have a funding partner with TWDB in this, and also we're searching for funds with the WIFIA program. It'll be in our first WIFIA tranche application that's coming up here in a few months. Just like to mention that this project is beneficial, that it's going to eliminate some of our wastewater lift stations. They are assumed as a high risk to the city. No one wants to have see the mess followed by a sanitary sewer overflow, or deal with the implications from TCEQ or the other jurisdictions that come into play. This shows our projects that are currently underway. On the wastewater side, we have one completed project, and most of our projects are bidding this year. I think we have one exception, project bidding in March 26th, the Cali Lane Wastewater Interceptor. We'll be excited to have these underway and have contractors on board helping us implement our program. On the water side, we've been a little more active here. We've had 5 projects complete, and others soon to bid here in the month. Here in the spring. This is in a glance. This is our water and wastewater capital improvement screenshot. It shows how vast our program is, the far-reaching areas that we're bringing water and wastewater to. I ask that you check in on our website. We have the CIP at a glance. It gives you detailed information of the project, their location, some of the descriptions, the details. And we're trying to keep doing our best to keep the schedule updated. It's kind of in flux and moving. And I will turn this over to, I think Dennis, turn this over to Dr. Cam.
Hi, I'm Katie Cam, the new Assistant Director of Traffic and Transportation. My first time here, so nice to be here. So I'm going to go over the transportation CIP projects, and I'm also going to give an overview of the drainage projects as well, since that's falling under my purview. So on this slide here, I took a screenshot of the current five-year CIP plan, highlighted in blue those projects that are funded by funds other than the 2020 general obligation bond. And then I highlighted in green those that are the 2020 general obligation bond. And the takeaway from this slide is that all those projects are in progress. We're moving all those projects forward to completion. So as you can see, we're staying very busy. So to give you an overview by type of transportation project, so these are for the street reconstruction packages. That's where we go in and just take existing streets, rip up the pavement, rehabilitate it. And so we just finished up package 1A, literally just just doing the punch list to finalize that, and that's in the gray area that you see. So there's two areas. And then we're about to kick off package 1B, which is that yellow area. Package 2 has already started. That's in the pink shaded area. And we just finished up Great Basin, for example. And then package 3 is expected to start in, probably early 2025. We're hoping to go to bid sooner than that. Okay. So the second set of projects is our intersection projects. Most of the intersections are going to be traffic signals. We recently got a TxDOT grant of over $2 million to implement some ADA improvements at several intersections, so that's featured here. Then there are some traffic signal projects that are in progress. They've already been out to bid. It's just a matter of scheduling the install, and you can see those are in the green right there on the map. So then our third type of transportation project are the big roadway projects. That's where we're expanding a roadway or we're building an entirely new roadway. So as you can see, we're working all across the city. Most of them at this point are at 90 to 100% design. A lot of times we've started utility relocation on some of these. Kelly Lane, as you know, phase 2 is active construction. We're working on finalizing the design for Kelly Lane phase 3. I'll be happy to answer any questions about any of these projects during the Q&A. Then parks. Am I presenting parks, or do you want me to skip over this one?
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead and do it. Okay. So I was asking Shane because he's Parks Director. So we've been spearheading the CIP Parks projects. The Gilliland Creek Pool Facilities Project is ongoing. I hope to finish that up in this summer. 1849 Park Phase 2 just finished permitting, and we just kicked off design for Phase 1B, which is working on the front part along Cameron Road. And let's see what else we've got. The Wilbarger Creek, we also just started construction on that one, and we're going to follow that up with some design work for adding a dog park there. So, that's it. Is that it? Okay. We're good? Okay.
So at this point, the advisory committee is to consider the items that were presented to you, make a recommendation based off the report that's been provided also in your packet, and make a recommendation to council on if there's anything that you see as being deficient or needing to be added. This would be the time to also make.
No, I just want to thank you all very much for putting together that presentation. It's great. It's obviously a lot to consume in a short amount of time, of course, but really appreciate the updates. And I think that so many of those are evolving pretty rapidly and getting us to a better place where we've got, these are covering, or I guess I should say, I feel confident that these are covering a really big portion of the community and what our citizens have been asking for. So I still feel really good about the plan as it's in place today.
Agreed.
Yeah, great job. My one concern has nothing to do with what you guys are doing because it's all fabulous. My one concern is it going to rain enough in the right places to keep LCRA able to fulfill our contract with them?
You can take that.
I want to take it. I will happily elaborate on this. So, Brandon Pritchett, Utility Director. No. So the city's long-term goal, while we're looking, so the short-term goal for water is to go with LCRA because that is a very short-term, easy answer. But our goal really is to leverage the fact that we do have a large wastewater CCN to our east, all the way out to 973. And to be able to take the Manvilles and the Aqua, they're the water provider, to be able to take that water in and to be able to leverage the infrastructure improvements that we're doing at our water treatment plant, to be able to take that water from them that we haven't paid for, it's kind of drought resilient, and be able to either return that to ourselves or work with our partners to the north in Williamson County to be able to take the flows that they're buying from LCRA, get them back to us as well. To be able to have a more drought resilient that's not responsible for priority calls. So a priority call is when there's a drought, everybody gets rationed. If you're not subject to priority calls through return flows, which means that you don't have to ration the same way that everybody else does. So we're really moving towards that future of the world. That is probably going to end up being either an IPR, an indirect potable reuse, or a DPR, which is a direct potable reuse, which makes it a little more less risky compared to moving directly just to LCRA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I actually do have a question as well. And this has obviously nothing to do with this. This is great stuff. Thank you. So last weekend, I actually was talking to a friend of mine who lives here, and he was commenting about how our taxes in Pflugerville are very, very high. And it's easy to see why. You know, we have $2.1 billion plus in total projects right now. And the next 3 years, 3.5 years, is essentially the bulk of it, right? So how does that, like, one, you know, obviously new projects are significantly less than maintaining. So do we, you know, do you as a staff, based on what you see, do we see another, you know, after the next 5 years, are we anticipating additional significant development and you know, infrastructure improvements, or are we, you know, out to 2040? Okay, great. Are we going to expect that our tax obligations as citizens is going to stabilize, decrease, you know, or we're just going to be in maintenance mode, or do we see like significant, you know, infrastructure like roadway improvements, wastewater and water? I think we're pretty well set on that for a while, but in parks, you know, we have $175 million worth of parks going. That's a big shift from where we've been the last 20 years here. So, anybody have any thoughts or comments on that? Like how that, you know, new is expensive because it's new, but the maintaining is less. So, should we anticipate potentially the idea entertaining that our tax obligation will be lower in the future? Anybody want to take that?
I'll start. That's a deep question, multi-component. At least on the utility side, we're taking care of what I mentioned, the big three. Those are what I think are going to be our greatest expenditure over the next 8 to 10 years. Everything following that should be a whole little less, you know, severe. As far as the benefits to the community, we're constantly seeking grants. We're seeking funding opportunities. The loans we secure with TWDB and also with EPA WIFIA, those are loans, but they're low interest loans with the interest return far less than what the current market rate is going. On the EPA WIFIA program, it's very unique that the payments that we will have to return to EPA, they're deferred. I believe that period's 5 years deferred. 5 years deferred. So that gives us an opportunity to leverage our incoming funds to forego that first expenditure. So we're hoping that with the new infrastructure, the thought process is, and it always is, with infrastructure, build it and they will come. So we're hoping to get ahead of the curve. So when we have to start returning the funds, making payments to EPA, that we'll have the funds in our accounts from our new customers, and that will be able to help us pay off the loan in a rapid rate. And as the thought goes to construction, the best time to build anything is now. Costs only go up. So if we delay, you know, construction on major facilities, we're only looking at probably an annual 4 to 5% increase has been the general term, but over the last 3 years, we're looking at 9 and 10% increases. So it's been difficult to forecast those. So I encourage, we appreciate your support. Once again, best time to build it's now. So it's good to put the wheels in motion to build as much as we can, as much as we can afford at this time.
Thank you.
And I do think, one of the things that makes me happy every time we see these updates is the work that that staff is putting into finding those other funding opportunities, right? The more we can get that off of our residents' backs, the better, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, great question.
It also makes me happy to see that things are getting done, right? Like, there's a
Yes.
lot of stuff going on. And, for those of you watching at home and citizens here, like, it's alarming how much is happening at once in a positive way. Like, there is a lot happening. And so, 5 years from now, Pflugerville will look totally different.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Absolutely. I was just reminded a couple days ago as well about our friends in Leander with their current water problems as well, right? Of having to very closely monitor due to the construction that they're having. And I hope that we continue to keep our level of service up and not have to do individual level rationing to the level that they're having to over there.
Amen.
Unless there's any other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to recommend that this goes to council.
So,
I so move. Oh,
nice second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All right, the motion passes. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. And with that, we are adjourned at 6:21.